For the last 6 years, I've been the campus pastor for Third Way Collective. I wanted to take some time this week just to say thank you to everyone who has made the last 6 years so meaningful.
When University Mennonite Church began considering a campus ministry organization and presence on campus, we talked about things that were important to us and important to our faith, and what we thought would be important to, especially to students on campus. And we talked about the kind of person that we would be looking for to give shape to such a program. And we realized, I think early on, that even though we didn't have everything figured out by any stretch of the imagination, that this would be a program and organization that would run as well as the person who took on the role of campus chaplain. And so when we found Ben, we knew that we had a personality, we had a person with passion and deep desire to connect to students individually and collectively on the campus. And so I am grateful for the work that Ben has done over these years, the personal connections he's made, the reaching out especially to more vulnerable and isolated students on campus, and to create a sense of community where people recognize that they were valued for who they are and were encouraged to be the fullest and live out their fullest lives from the perspective from which they came.
I am grateful for Third Way showing up from when I was a freshman at the Hub Takeover for Pride Week to as a senior having been part of my year in such a different capacity. I think that Third Way and Ben especially really showed me what an ally looks like and what a pair of listening ears can do for anyone around you to spread peace and faith.
Always been grateful for the Third Way Collective and wished that an organization like this had existed when I was in undergrad as I was becoming an activist and finding the common dichotomy between people invested in their faith and spirituality and people that were activists.
The way that Ben embodied that was through just being there, always being there, whether it was the Muslim Students Association's Free Pizza Friday or it was some event or some panel that we were having. Ben was always there, and showing up is so important and so integral to supporting the different communities around you and to what interfaith and intercommunity gatherings are all about. And I'm just really grateful for the time that you've spent here.
Had the pleasure of serving as the director of Wesley for the first 4 years that Ben was in ministry at Third Way Collective. Him and I actually started the same day and met at the student org fair, just like the thousands of other freshmen did that day too. And this sounds silly, but it was kind of love at first sight, as far as, wow, this is a colleague we can connect with, and our ministries and how we understand being God and understand God and God's people in the world align.
I was always inspired by the work that you were doing at Third Way Collective, and some of your spirit that you've imparted into that has impacted me in the sense of how we are moving our campus ministry to be more justice-oriented and to think in terms of a third way of doing the campus ministries.
I am especially grateful to Ben and to his students for the ways that they inspired me with their questions and inspired other students, I think, with their wanting to learn how to be faithful in their living, in their actions, and not just with their words, and caring caring for this creation that God has given us and caring for others in the world.
One of the things that I have really appreciated about Third Way Collective is the ways in which they are continually helping all of our campus ministries to think about how do we extend our tables? How do we make a bigger table in which there is room for everyone, in which there is always extra seats at the table?
One of the things that I think will last is the commitment that Ben had not only to Third Way Collective, his students, and what that organization was all about, but also the example that he set for so many with not only practicing your own religion, but being supportive of others, regardless of what their tradition was, regardless of who it was, or where they were from, what they were practicing, what their beliefs were. Ben was open and honest and willing to reach out to anybody.
Under Ben's leadership, I've been brought comfort, encouragement, I've been convicted, and I can't thank you enough, Ben, and all of Third Way Collective. You are all incredibly important, and we bless you and celebrate you all.
First off, it was a ministry of compassion that reached out for the outsiders and the folks on the margins. It was also a ministry of collaboration. Ben, you did amazing work in collaborating with the other campus ministers, with other churches, with community organizations and civic organizations as well.
It made me feel more connected to my community. It helped me to feel more supported in my environment. And it just gave me the resources that I needed to help me connect with like-minded people, and it made such a big difference when I was navigating life at college.
I wanted to say thanks for all you've done for raising awareness of peace and justice issues relative to the Muslim community, to promote welcome and acceptance and engagement and cooperation and so on. Also, in raising awareness and bringing peace and justice to the fore in relation to the LGBTQ community, and for bringing peace and justice forward as essential to the religious and spiritual life.
How really it's really truly an embodiment of how interfaith should be done, and I'm just really grateful, and I'm sure the Penn State community is going to miss you so much.
And I think it's really important for us to have people like that in these situations so that we can all learn and go beyond our own walls at the spiritual center.
I really appreciated Ben's meditations every Wednesday. That really brought peace and joy to my life. And I'm grateful that Third Way Collective existed.
It's not an understatement to say that Third Way Collective has been one of the most important aspects of my life at Penn State during my graduate career.
It made me feel more connected to my community. It helped me to feel more supported in my environment, and it just gave me the resources that I needed to help me connect with like-minded people.
In a range of different social justice issues in our community and on campus, there has been a faith presence.
During periods when we've grieved over tragedy and during periods when we've fought against injustice, Ben has helped bring a community of peace and justice-minded scholars, students, and activists together.
We'll just be doing remarkable and incredible things there and really just bringing community together.
That really brought peace and joy to my life.
And I want to thank you also for all of the seemingly inconsequential moments, which, looking back, have actually been the ones which have meant the most to me and had the most powerful impact on the way that I see the world.
I'm extremely grateful that I got to experience it, and I have faith that it will continue to happen in some capacity.
Hi Ben, I thought this was the time to make the video for you because I'm wearing a Lady Justice Brewing Company that I picked up at a campus ministry conference in Denver last year. Great beer, better world. And one of the things I've appreciated getting to know you, it has been what I remember your interest in craft beer and various beers. And yes, I've got some hats that made me think of you, and that's the love of baseball. But I don't think I've got any hats that are the team that you care about the most. But I've got some baseball hats and a brewery shirt, and yes, and even a minor league hockey team hat from here in Cedar Falls.
Figured, since I'm wearing my Canada shirt, I should make the video.
I wanted to say thanks for all you've done for raising awareness of peace and justice issues relative to the Muslim community.
One of the greatest opportunities I've had has been to work with Ben Weidman and Third Way Collective.
I am especially grateful to Ben and to his students for the ways that they inspired me with their questions.
And I'm super grateful for Ben Weidman and the community that he brought to Penn State. He really illuminated, a component of togetherness that is often missing from a lot of solidarity movements and interfaith activities and community that was super integral.
To think about doing things in different ways and listening to the diverse voices that are all around us.
And I want to thank Third Way and its supporters, and especially Ben for the last 4 years.
You're wrapping up your work there. I am carrying with me fun memories and inspiration.
And I think that Ben has been fabulous at encouraging relationships and helping us all work together to make a more caring State College region.
And so I'm grateful for Third Way Collective's presence on campus, and I want to express my gratitude and thanks to Ben for the great work he's done in giving leadership to this.
I am forever grateful for Third Way Collective's witness on campus and the ministry's witness in my life, and the friendship and collegiality that I got to have with Ben and continue to get to have with Ben.
As we seek to bring all of these different voices together at one table.
And I want to wish you luck, and I know that all of your future endeavors, given how well you've run Third Way Collective, will undoubtedly have a really powerful impact on the people you're ministering to and on the world around you.
Just really grateful, and I'm sure, the Penn State community is going to miss you so much.
Ben, you did amazing work at collaborating with the other campus ministers, with other churches, with community organizations, and civic organizations as well.
Under Ben's leadership, I've been brought comfort, encouragement, I've been convicted, and I can't thank you enough, Ben, and all of Third Way Collective. You are all incredibly important, and we bless you and celebrate you.
We're really going to miss him. We hope he stays in the area and stays connected with us. But it really has been a true pleasure to watch somebody exemplify what our standards and our values are so much about, and to really exemplify the standards that he set for Third Way Collective. It's really a pleasure. Going to be missed. Ben, thanks so much for all you've done for our students, for the community, and we wish you well.
Thank you so much again. I'm proud of you and all you have done.
Best of luck with whatever you're doing next. It's always great to hear from you.
Thank you, Ben, and I hope this work continues on campus. I'm grateful to have you as a friend.
Thank you, Ben, for everything you've done for me and for State College. God's peace be with you as you continue on your path.